Hello friends, welcome back to another session of Web Technologies. In today's class, I'm going to discuss the problem with the servlet. So in Java servlet-based applications, processing the request and generating the response are done by a single servlet class. So this is an example of a pure servlet class where you can see that the request processing and the presentation and the business logic, all the three are included in the single servlet class. So what is request processing? So all that from the do get method. Okay, so this do get method. So this do get method and all this is considered to be the request processing. So the request processing is here. And we also have the presentation, which is nothing but the response generating the response, and this response HTML code is embedded directly in the servlet code using the println calls. Okay, so you can see the HTML head and the body and all this. So this is nothing but response. Okay, and then finally we have the business logic here. So the business logic is implemented in the methods over here. So this is the business logic. So everything is done in a business logic. Okay, so everything is done in a single servlet program. So as I said, the request processing, response, and the business logic all are written in the same servlet program. This could be one of the major problems with the servlet. So separating the request processing and business logic from presentation makes it possible to divide the development tasks among people with different skills. Java programmers can implement the request processing and the business logic pieces, and web page authors can implement the user interface. So the both the groups can use their own development tools and can develop them individually. So the result will be much more productive and it will be a productive development process. Not only that, it also will make it possible to change different aspects of the application independently. Like you can change the business rules without touching the user interface. So this is one of the problem of the servlet. How can we separate the request processing business logic from the presentation? So the request processing can be the servlet, okay, and then the presentation or the response can be put in a JSP file, and the business logic can be handled by the Java Beans or EJB components. Okay, Java Beans or EJB components. Now let us look into the other problems of the servlet. So the first problem, as we already have seen, is that pure servlet will be having all the three, the request processing, response, and business logic, and you just need to separate it. So the second problem is that um, thorough Java programming knowledge is needed to develop and maintain all the aspects of the application, since the processing code and the HTML elements are lumped together. So that's the second problem with the servlets, that you need to be a Java programmer. And the third problem with the servlet is that changing the look and feel of the application. So if you want to do any modifications to the application, or if you want to add support for a new type of client, such as like WML client, which is wireless markup language client, so which requires the servlet code to be updated and recompiled. So that is again modifications will take you to recompile the code once again. And the fourth problem with the servlet is that it's hard to take advantage of web page development tools when designing the application interface. Why it is difficult is that if such web development tools are used, then to develop the web page layout or whatever, so the generated HTML, so those tools will give you a HTML code, okay, so which is generated by the tools. So this HTML code must be manually embedded into the servlet code. And this process is time consuming and it can also be error prone. Okay, so these are all the problems with the servlet. I hope this video is helpful to you. Thank you for watching.